Anti-Semitism are on the rise across the country. And in sports, Ohio women's basketball plays at the Combo tonight. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening, I'm Haley Hollinger and welcome to Newswatch. The city of Athens receives $200,000 to develop a comprehensive safety action plan. The U.S. Department of Transportation awards Athens as U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown announces 11 safer streets for all grants totaling more than $2 million to communities across Ohio. The program funds regional, local, and tribal initiatives through grants to prevent roadway deaths, serious injuries, and to support the development of safety action plans and safety improvements. The owners of an Athens bar files an appeal on its revoked liquor license. The liquor license of the Smiling Skull Saloons on West Union Street was revoked last month by state regulators. The State Liquor Control Commission said that the Smiling Skull failed to pay a $10,000 fine on time. The bar argues that losing the license will force them to close down the bar for good. A day before the appeal was filed, the state filed a motion to dismiss the case, stating it was filed too late and the court cannot hear it. A hearing on the motion to dismiss is scheduled for next Thursday. Nearly $1.25 million are coming Ohio's way for network and broadband expansion. The investment from Charter Communication enables the delivery of faster speeds across the state. The money will help an estimated 110,000 homes and small businesses have access to high-speed internet, including 80,000 in Appalachian communities. The work has already begun in the Cincinnati area, and the project is expected to be complete by the end of 2025. The Nelsonville Dog Park Board announces Nelsonville as one of 25 finalists for this year's Pet Safe Unleashed Dog Park Contest. The National Pet Safe Unleashed Dog Park Contest will award one community a dream dog park valued up to $50,000. The finalist with the highest number of votes will win, with each voter being able to vote once per day, every day. You can vote for the Nelsonville Dog Park from November 1st to the 13th at petsafeunleashed.petsafe.com. Student tickets for football playoffs in Ohio may soon cost the same online and at the gate, starting with the Friday regional quarterfinals. This comes after Ohio lawmakers drew attention to the prices last week. Bills introduced in both the House and Senate would force associations and participating schools to both charge the same at the gate and online. House Speaker Jason Stevens says the proposals may not be the only action the legislature considers as it tries to regulate Ohio High School Athletic Association's actions. As of this fall, schools have to take cash payments under a provision in the Ohio budget. We're now joined by Newswatch forecaster Isabel Isco. Isabel, last night I saw some snow.
I know, it's a little surprising to end off October with a little bit of flurries out there, but as you can see on that national radar, very small. We had a quick flurry here in southeast Ohio, but for northeast Ohio, they got a few inches out there. So it was a kind of a surprising start to our, a surprising end to our October and a surprising start to our November. You could see those temperatures throughout the nation. Here in closer to us, Detroit 42, Chicago 41, Pittsburgh 40, even Louisville at 48. We're definitely in those cooler temperatures, but here in Athens, over these past 24 hours, you could see that we dipped into below freezing last night. That's whenever we saw that quick flurry out there. But as we go through the day today, you can see those temperatures made it only about to the high 40s for us today. Higher than we were expecting, but it is on the cooler side as we go into this cool down these next couple of days. Looking at these temperatures outside your window now, Lancaster 41, Columbus 41. You can see as we go more south, Huntington at 46 and Parkersburg at 42, and outside here in Athens, we're currently at 42 degrees. Those cooler temperatures are going to continue going into tonight, and especially with this wind chill that we're experiencing. I'm definitely going to be getting into that wind chill that we're going to be experiencing going into these next couple days in my full forecast. Let's take it back to Haley.
Thanks, Isabel. Democratic lawmakers are calling on Secretary of State Frank LaRose to restore 27,000 voter registrations removed last month. LaRose's office says it had to happen because of a limited time frame under federal law. On social media, LaRose claimed he removed the registrations of people who've moved or died, haven't voted at their current address in 4 years, or responded to multiple warnings. But Democrats say LaRose removed the voters without trying to help them re-register before election, and that most of the registrations he's purged over time are younger Ohioans and those from urban areas. With abortion up in the air until the November election, more Ohioans are turning to permanent contraception like vasectomies to avoid unplanned pregnancies. 3 Ohio health systems have found an increase in the number of sterilizations following the Dobbs versus Jackson decision. Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center urologist Dr. Sarah Swigert says her practice had a wait list of several months for vasectomies in the period after the Dobbs decision came down. That wait list included men who are younger and have never had children. Ohio U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown is taking a stance on the Issue 1 and Issue 2, while Ohio U.S. Senator J.D. Vance is staying quiet on the issues. Brown says he is voting yes on the issues, agreeing that Issue 1 is a harder decision to make. Vance has not said anything about the issues. Still ahead, Egyptian authorities slowly accepting limited numbers of injured civilians and foreign nationals amidst the Israel war. Plus, the U.S. Federal Reserve holds off on increasing interest rates.
And for weather here in Athens, how we're going to be seeing this cool down continue to hit, and how we might be having some rain to start off next week. Next on Newswatch.
Do you remember when I was 5 years old, you changed my name? You were wrong. They wanted me.
It was the right thing to do.
You're a criminal, Mom!
Where are you trying to go?
Don't actually know. We were adopted.
Follow me.
My name's Beijing.
I'm your brother.
Welcome home, Beijing.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
The thing about Native women leaders, they have that toughness, that backbone.
I will continue to fight for our most vulnerable people. There's always work to be done.
I'm proud to say that I am a Native designer. I embrace that.
As a woman, it's a part of my responsibility to take care of the environment. We owe her our life.
Tuesday at 9 on WOUB.
Sometimes in life you have those moments in all its glory.
With singing, dancing, magicians. Yeah!
Just what I wanted for Christmas.
We have much to be grateful for.
The platypus have been granted this window into their world.
Can you tell me the truth? What do you remember?
Spy in the Ocean continues and unlocks more secrets of the deep. These are the most innovative undersea robots in the world. Custom made to resemble the animals they film, these spy creatures capture moments of behavior and emotion like no human can.
Tonight at 8 on WOUB.
The tightly restricted Rafah crossing between Egypt and Gaza is slightly opening now. Egyptian authorities are allowing in limited numbers of injured civilians and foreign nationals holding passports. The urgency of border access is rising every day as Israel ramps up its strikes on Hamas. Laura Aguirre has more on that strike and the evacuations, with a warning that viewers may find some details and images disturbing.
Chaos in the aftermath of an Israeli strike on Gaza's largest refugee camp, Jabalia, Tuesday. The densely populated camp is filled with families with children and embedded Hamas militants, says Israeli military officials. The IDF confirms they targeted and killed several Hamas combatants, including a top commander in the strike.
Our bombs struck not on buildings, but in between the buildings, because we were aiming for the tunnel complex where the Hamas combatant commander was.
Wednesday, a second Israeli airstrike in the same camp. A doctor at the scene told CNN that there were hundreds wounded and dead.
It is because there are terrorists that are embedded there. The IDF right now is fighting in face-to-face combat with Hamas terrorists inside Jabalia. Ultimately speaking, the collateral damage, and this is very clear, is on Hamas's shoulders.
Meanwhile, at the Rafah gate crossing between Egypt and Gaza, limited evacuations have begun. Part of a deal brokered by Qatar between Israel, Hamas, and Egypt in coordination with the U.S., according to sources familiar with the talks.
An initial group of foreign nationals, including U.S. citizens, departed Gaza through Rafah today. And we expect exits of U.S. citizens and foreign nationals to continue over the next several days.
This as hundreds of others wait outside the gate, hopeful that they too will soon escape the horrors of war. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
The increasingly tense rhetoric and protests following the war between Israel and the Hamas are raising concerns about a rise in anti-Semitism. It's become a common occurrence across school campuses in some communities around the country to have messages of hate scrawled across walls and online memorials destroyed. Patrick Dye, a 21-year-old student at Cornell University, was arrested in connection with a series of anti-Semitic threats he allegedly made against Cornell University's Jewish community. The threat prompted fear among students.
That it's an attempt to tear us apart. I don't want to be torn apart. I don't want to look at my fellow classmate and think that's my enemy.
It's not just happening in New York. This display outside the University of Minnesota's Jewish Student Center in Minneapolis, showing the faces of Israelis taken hostage by Hamas last month, was also damaged. And in Pittsburgh's historically Jewish Squirrel Hill neighborhood, residents spotted graffiti reading "Death to America, Free Palestine," and "I Stand with Gaza" painted at a condo complex. Arab and Muslim communities are also reporting a rise in fear following Islamophobic incidents.
And for weather here in Athens, you can see that currently we're at about 42 degrees out there, but with that wind chill at 38, we're definitely feeling on the colder side going into tonight. Those temperatures that we were expecting today, we did break them a little bit. It got a little bit warmer than 44. We actually hit temperatures at about 48 today, and that temperature low that we're going to be experiencing later into the night of 24. Tonight is the last night of under freezing temperatures that we're going to be having for these next few days, but it's definitely going to be way below freezing going into tonight. Along with those wind chills, we're going to be feeling like we're in the teens going into late tonight and even early tomorrow, so definitely be able to bundle up going into these next few hours. Those clear skies are just because of this high pressure system that we're experiencing over our area. Over these past 24 hours, you could see we had that low pressure giving some of our area some snow, and now that is pushed out of the way, and we're seeing now this high pressure system isn't too close to us, but it's definitely going to be affecting us still. It's giving us these clear skies. Looking at tomorrow, mostly sunny, still those clear skies. We're going to be experiencing those for the next couple days. That temperature high you're going to see, it's going to be warming up these next few days. That temperature low still going to be in those lower temperatures, about 28 for tomorrow. So tomorrow, that high pressure is going to get closer to our area. We're going to be looking very clear. It's going to look pretty beautiful out there. It's just going to be on that cold side. So make sure to bundle up, and we're going to be experiencing those wind chills throughout these next few 24 to 48 hours. So you're definitely going to need those coats out and those hats out to start off your November. Looking into tomorrow night, about the same, but we're going to be seeing this little band of low pressure in the area, not quite in our area yet. We're going to be experiencing that going into early next week. So this weekend, we're still going to have these clear skies. It's going to start getting cloudy, and then we're going to be seeing some rain into Monday and Tuesday. Friday, you can see that's whenever that low pressure system is going to be sitting over the area, and that's going to be slowly pushed in. But looking at this weekend, it's going to be clear, a little bit on the chilly side, but it is going to be heating up looking into these next few days. It's going to be getting pretty cold today, and then looking into tomorrow, we're still going to be warming up. Friday, another little bit of a warm up at 58, and then Saturday 62. Then looking at Sunday, 65, and then Monday, that's whenever the showers are going to be starting to get possible, but it is going to be in those high 60s again here in southeast Ohio. Tuesday, it's going to cool down again, and we're going to have that chance of showers. So definitely make sure to stick back with us to see how we're going to have some showers impacting us at the beginning of next week. Let's take it back to Haley.
Thanks, Isabel. All eyes are on the U.S. Federal Reserve as the central bank is holding off increasing interest rates. Amid a growing economy, hiking rates in the future are an option. Mike Valerio breaks down the Fed's decision and what this means for you and your wallet.
The economy is booming. The highest interest rates in more than 20 years yet to dampen the jobs market, home prices, or consumer spending. However, the increased cost of borrowing will likely take a toll in the months ahead.
Expect the Federal Reserve to maintain a vigilant posture, even if they're not raising rates, just in an effort to keep conditions tight and push inflation closer to that 2% mark. There's also some concern about the health of a lot of consumers.
Consumers are wary. Confidence in the economy is down for the third month in a row, even as spending and wages are up.
Inflation is hit hardest in categories that are absolute necessities. Household expenses are considerably higher than they were just a few years ago, and the income may not have kept up.
And for many, that means more borrowing.
I think if you paint with a broad brush, it ignores the reality that about 60% of households are living paycheck to paycheck. We've seen credit card balances going up at a time when credit card rates are at a record high.
While the economy has remained stronger for longer than economists anticipated, Bankrate.com's Greg McBride says a downturn could still come in 2024, and people should be prepared if and when recession hits.
Pay down debt, particularly high-cost debt like credit cards, boost your emergency savings. That's going to be a buffer between you and high-cost debt if you have an income disruption.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Smoking is the leading cause of cancer deaths in the U.S. The American Cancer Society released new guidelines for lung cancer screenings and is now recommending nearly 5 million more adults who smoke or used to smoke to be tested. Mandy Gaither has a look at the updated guidance.
It's a potentially deadly disease. Lung cancer kills more people in the U.S. than colon, breast, and prostate cancers combined, but early detection can save lives.
Only about 5% of those that are eligible for lung cancer screening actually are being screened.
Previously, the recommendation was for anyone between the ages of 50 to 80 with at least a 20-pack per year smoking history who currently smoke cigarettes or quit within the past 15 years to be screened annually for lung cancer. But the American Cancer Society is now advising doctors to remove that time since quit criteria.
What we found was that while there was initially sort of a decrease or leveling of risk of lung cancer, as a patient ages, the risk of lung cancer increases significantly.
Dr. William Dayhut says this update will make it easier to know who should be screened for lung cancer.
People don't have to sort of calculate when someone quits smoking. And by changing our guidelines, we're actually going to increase the number of eligible patients by about 37%. And which means by about 5 million more Americans will now be eligible for lung cancer screening.
The screening is a quick low-dose CT scan of the chest, since coverage is largely driven by screening recommendations from the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and that agency has not currently adopted this update. Insurance may or may not cover lung cancer screenings based on this updated ACS guideline, but Dayhut hopes that will change.
We're hopeful that once our guidelines are in place, people will look at the value of that.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The American Cancer Society says if lung cancer is found early, the chances of remission are much higher, and there are new drugs and treatments that can help improve chance of survival as well.
Coming up in sports, Ohio women's basketball begins preseason play. And for the latest from Newswatch, check us out on Instagram, X, and YouTube.
It's Elvis Presley!
Elvis was a very patriotic fellow. He was more sensitive now to understanding World War II since he wasn't in it and understanding about this story.
Thursday at 10 on WOUB.
Every little thing she does is magic.
Treat yourself to the great performances in Message in a Bottle, based on the songs of Sting. It's an extraordinary and compelling dance show choreographed by the brilliant Kate Prince. Don't miss this remarkable Message in a Bottle on Great Performances.
Friday at 9 on WOUB.
Debajo de tu toalla, tocarte, 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 tocarte. Cuando dijo que sí, Bolivia.
Saturday at 10 on WOUB.
Hidden deep beneath the Cumberland Mountains in Grundy County, Tennessee, lies one of the world's most magical musical adventures, the Cavern Sessions. 3 million years in the making, Pure Acoustics offer music from the heart of the American experience, center stage and deep inside the mountain. This time welcoming Watch House. It's deep down musical diversity at the Cavern Sessions.
Friday at 11 on WOUB.
Welcome back. I'm Peyton Brooker. Ohio women's basketball begins their 2023-24 season tonight in the Convo for exhibition play. The Bobcats finished with a 6-23 record last season as they hope to square off against the year on a positive note as they take on Marietta College. Ohio has a lot of new faces this year with the addition of 5 freshmen. The Bobcats will be looking towards these fresh players to take on over the key roles. Returning this season is junior Kate Dennis, who started in all 29 games last year as she looks to be a leader in this very young squad. In tonight's exhibition game, the Bobcats will host Division III opponent Marietta College. The Pioneers ended the season making it all the way to the Sweet 16 with 22 wins on the year. They are led by senior Olivia Gribble, who averaged 9.3 points in the previous season. The Bobcats finished tied in last place with the MAC with Central Michigan with only 4 wins. Tip-off is set tonight at 7 o'clock at the Convo. Switching to men's basketball, the MAC preseason polls in all first and second teams have been announced. Earlier today, 2 Ohio players were announced for first and second team All-MAC preseason teams. Senior guard Jalen Hunter and first team sophomore guard A.J. Brown on the second team. Last season, the Bobcats finished with 19 wins, 10 in conference play. Ohio is ranked 3rd in preseason, just behind Akron and Kent State. Hunter says that they take it day by day with the main goal to chase for a MAC title.
Best me I can be, best leader every day. It's going to be an everyday process. I don't want to get into statistics or anything like that. And then as a team, it's obviously a MAC championship all the time.
The Bobcats begin their season in an exhibition game against Otterbein tomorrow night. Out on the field, Ohio soccer is preparing for their conference semifinal matchup against Bowling Green tomorrow morning. Ohio goes into this game winning their first round matchup against Ball State on Sunday 2-0. Bowling Green heads to Kalamazoo on a 3-game win streak as they this is their first game in the conference tournament play. The Bobcats are led by senior Shea Robertson, who has 8 goals this season. The Falcons are led by Brianna Gardner, who has scored 6 goals and 4 assists. Kickoff for this set is set for 11 a.m. at Western Michigan. And in high school volleyball, the Nelsonville York Buckeyes will travel to Logan for their regional semifinals matchup against the Meadowbrook Colts. Over the weekend, the Buckeyes pulled off a win in a very close game against Southeastern. Nelsonville York was behind 2 sets, but came together and took the final 3 sets. With this win, the Buckeyes now increased their record to 23 wins heading into the regional bracket. Both the Colts and the Buckeyes have been on a winning tear throughout the season. Nelsonville York has not lost a game since September, losing to Logan, but dominated the TVC Ohio. For the Colts, they were successful against Union Local, winning all 3 sets to advance. The last time they lost was back in October 14th against Bishop Watterson. First serve is scheduled for 6 o'clock at Logan High School.
Next on Newswatch, NASA pumpkins and a haunted house proposal that shocked many. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
I warned you that if he took his money, it would be in his debt.
I had no choice about that.
There is always a choice. Where is he?
Where's who?
Nish.
I don't trust him.
He has a network, resources.
I got entangled with some Italian Americans.
You find a way to get my employers what they want.
I think I have a solution. Are you trying to get me killed? Leave the spirits to the big boys.
Sunday at 8 on WOUB.
On Masterpiece. You mustn't make a sound. There are ears everywhere.
Your enemy now looks like your friend. It's murky and it stinks, but this is the fight now. Our loyal service does not merit a salute.
Sir, you will discipline your men or you will all face the consequences.
We hold the line at all costs.
What is he doing?
World on Fire on Masterpiece. Sunday at 9 on WOUB.
Hey, it's your old car here. Remember me? Remember us? You barely even turn me on anymore. It's clear you don't need me, but that's perfectly fine, my friend, because you can choose to give this old car new purpose and donate. Vehicles like me can bring significant funds to public television. So call or donate online. Donating a vehicle is easy, the pickup is free, and your gift is tax-deductible.
On Nova, Ancient Earth.
One major event can have these ripple effects throughout the rest of history, and this event is almost unmatched.
The history of life, it is one unfolding story. So many new characters coming in, old characters going extinct.
What I'm holding is the earliest child ever discovered. This species was at the cusp of being human.
Humans on Nova.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
We have two stories from Halloween to finish out our show tonight. NASA's Jet Propulsion Labs in California are using tech to create some truly out-of-this-world pumpkin designs. It's become an annual carving contest for the agency with power tools and power tech, resulting in amazing displays like a functional pumpkin guitar, a mirrored disco ball, and a pumpkin spice atomic plume. This group's pumpkins weren't the only shocking thing some people saw on Halloween. A cast of creepy characters helped an Ohio man surprise his girlfriend with a wedding proposal inside the haunted house. He pretended to be one of the actors until he got down on one knee and she said yes. Those pumpkins are very cool and that proposal was very sweet, but some are already moving on from Halloween and decorating for Christmas. However, I am personally not ready for fall to be over. How about you guys?
I'm personally too. I just want kind of just the fall to stay in there because it gets warmer. It just gets colder every time I go to December and January. It's just terrible cold weather.
I know on my end, the weather side, it's been a lot chillier here and everyone's like, it already feels like Christmas. I heard some Christmas music earlier. I was like, no, not yet, not yet. Still fall. Now with that weather, you can see currently out there 42 degrees, that wind chill at 38. It's definitely going to be getting chillier as that night goes on. We're going to hit that overnight low of 24 pretty soon here. It's going to be taking a little bit, but by around 11, we're going to be feeling those very cold temperatures out there. Those clear skies are going to be out there, so you'll be able to see the stars pretty easily on that cold night. But going into tomorrow, we're going to be feeling still on that chillier fall side with a little bit of a warm up with that temperature high of 51. That temperature low that we're going to be feeling tomorrow morning, especially of 28. So remember to bundle up for your morning commute. But we're still going to be having those mostly sunny skies, and those are going to be staying around for these next few days. We're going to warm up as the weekend goes on, but after that weekend, we're going to get cloudy, and then we're going to see some showers starting Monday and Tuesday. So definitely going to have a little bit of a warm up. Then we're going to have some showers and a cool down. So definitely going to be feeling a lot more like fall here in Southeast Ohio.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Isabel Isco and Peyton Brooker, I'm Haley Hollinger. Make sure you stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org or follow us on social media. Have a great night.
Support comes from Ohio University's Tantrum Theater presenting Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, or What You Will, a romantic comedy appearing at the Forum Theater on campus.